At some point in human life, almost everyone experiences it. A moment that feels uncomfortable, a situation that feels slightly awkward, a conversation that suddenly becomes quiet, a small mistake happening in front of others. And in that exact moment, something strange happens. You laugh. Not because something is funny, not because you are happy, not because the situation contains humor, but because your body does it automatically, instinctively, without permission. And right after that moment, you might wonder, why did I just laugh? Why do humans sometimes laugh when they are nervous, stressed, or uncomfortable? To understand this, we need to go deeper, inside the human body, inside the nervous system, inside the invisible connection between emotion, survival, and instinct. Because nervous laughter is not random. It is not a mistake. It is not something meaningless. It is a biological response that has existed for thousands of years, a survival mechanism disguised as humor. The human body is constantly trying to maintain balance, a state known as homeostasis.
When something feels unstable, threatening, or uncertain, the brain immediately reacts, not only emotionally, but biologically. When you feel nervous, your brain activates one of the oldest systems in human evolution, the fight or flight response, a survival mechanism designed to protect you from danger. Your heart rate increases, your breathing changes, your muscles tighten, your attention narrows, your body prepares to react. But here is the problem. In modern life, most threats are not physical. They are social. You are not running from predators. You are navigating conversations, job interviews, presentations, awkward silences, moments of judgment. And your ancient survival system does not fully understand this difference, so it reacts anyway, as if something dangerous is happening, even when the threat is only emotional or social. And when this happens, the body produces excess internal energy, stress energy, tension, activation. Something needs to happen with that energy. It cannot just stay inside. It needs to be released. And one of the most unexpected ways the human body does this is through laughter. Laughter is often thought of as a response to humor, but biologically, it is much more than that. Laughter is a rhythmic release of tension, a pattern of breathing, vocalization, and muscle movement that helps regulate the nervous system. When you laugh, your breathing changes rapidly. Short bursts of air, sudden vocal breaks, muscle contractions in the chest and face. All of this creates a temporary reset in the body. Tension decreases, stress levels drop. The nervous system tries to return to stability, even if nothing is funny at all. This is why nervous laughter exists, because the body is trying to solve a simple problem: too much internal tension with no clear physical outlet. But there is another layer beneath this, a social layer. Humans are deeply social beings, and for humans, social acceptance has always been tied to survival. In ancient environments, being accepted by the group meant safety. Being rejected meant vulnerability. Isolation often meant danger. So the brain evolved to constantly monitor social situations. When an awkward or uncertain moment happens, your brain instantly evaluates. Is my social position at risk? Did I do something wrong? How do others perceive me right now? And in these moments, the brain tries to repair social tension as quickly as possible. Not with long explanations, not with complex reasoning, but with simple signals that everything is still safe. And one of the strongest social signals humans have is laughter. When you laugh, even nervously, you are unconsciously communicating,
I am not a threat. This situation is still okay. We can continue normally. Laughter becomes a social safety signal, a way to reduce tension in group interactions, a way to prevent awkwardness from escalating. But nervous laughter often happens before conscious thought can intervene, because the system responsible for it is not part of rational thinking. It comes from the limbic system, the emotional core of the brain, a system that reacts faster than conscious awareness. That is why you can laugh before you even realize what is happening.
But there is something even more interesting occurring at the same time: cognitive conflict. The human brain struggles when it experiences contradictory emotional states. You feel nervous, but you want to appear normal. You feel tension, but you want to stay socially smooth. You feel pressure, but you still need to respond appropriately. This creates internal emotional conflict. And when the brain cannot resolve this conflict cleanly, it searches for alternative outputs. Laughter is one of them, because laughter can temporarily override tension. It can reduce emotional pressure. It can create a bridge between discomfort and social performance. But this is not only psychological, it is also neurological. Neuroscience shows that laughter activates multiple brain regions simultaneously: the prefrontal cortex, the limbic system, motor control areas, and the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine. Even in nervous situations, the brain is still trying to regulate itself, still trying to restore balance, still trying to align internal emotion with external behavior, and laughter becomes one of its tools. But there is something even more fascinating. Humans are not the only species that laugh. Certain primates also produce laughter-like vocalizations during play and social bonding. This suggests that laughter evolved long before human language, before complex reasoning, before modern social structures. Meaning, laughter is not primarily about humor. It is about communication. It is about safety. It is about signaling non-threat. It is about maintaining social harmony. And nervous laughter may simply be this ancient system reactivated under modern psychological pressure. But why does it appear specifically in nervous moments? Because nervous moments are defined by uncertainty, and the human brain does not tolerate uncertainty easily. When a situation is unclear, the brain struggles to decide how to respond. Should I speak? Should I stay silent? Is this safe? Is this embarrassing? Is this a threat? Multiple systems activate at once: social monitoring, emotional regulation, stress response. And in the overlap of all these systems, laughter can emerge. Not as a choice, but as a release point, a pressure valve for the nervous system, a sudden escape route for internal tension. There is also a psychological dimension. Nervous laughter often serves as a defense mechanism. When someone feels embarrassed, exposed, or socially vulnerable, laughter reduces emotional intensity. It softens the situation. It distances the person slightly from the discomfort. It creates a psychological buffer, almost like saying, "This is not too serious. I am okay. Everything is fine." Even when internally, the person feels the opposite. This is why nervous laughter can feel uncontrollable, because it is not driven by conscious decision. It is driven by regulation systems deeper than awareness. By the body trying to stabilize itself, by the brain trying to manage social risk, by the nervous system trying to release pressure, all at the same time. And perhaps the most important insight is this: nervous laughter is not a flaw in human behavior. It is a feature, a deeply embedded survival tool, a system that helps humans navigate uncomfortable social reality without breaking under tension. It is a bridge between emotion and survival, between instinct and social interaction, between internal stress and external expression. And it reveals something fundamental about human beings. That even in moments of discomfort, uncertainty, or embarrassment, the body is still working to protect us, still trying to regulate us, still trying to keep us socially connected and emotionally stable. And in the end, nervous laughter is not just laughter. It is communication between brain and body, between instinct and society, between pressure and release. And maybe that is what makes it so human. That even when we are nervous, even when we are uncomfortable, even when we are unsure, we still find a way to laugh.